The last resolution was not on the agenda, so I want to make sure that no member of the committee has an objection to us considering the recommendation of the Institute to place the New Roots Charter School on probationary status. Okay. Hearing none. I'm sorry, Trustee Sparrow, what did you say?
No objection.
Okay, thank you. Ralph, do you want to just give us an overview of the recommendation of the Charter Schools Institute to place New Roots Charter School on probationary status?
Sure. This school is experiencing, among other things, some fiscal issues. The school was already on a corrective plan regarding intake of students. It unfortunately is also under enrolled outside of the collar in the charter agreement, which is a violation. Their audit was late after an extension, which is concerning to us in terms of sort of fiscal resources they have available and human resources on the fiscal side. So our recommendation, given where they are, given their current net assets, the recommendation is to place them on probation, largely to enhance their monitoring to a monthly level so that we know sort of their income, their expenses, how they're doing with their debt to the teacher retirement system, to make them address that debt in a way that is hopefully thoughtful and that they can pay over time. Not that we can represent that the teacher's retirement system would be happy at that level, but it would be at least moving in the direction of paying that down. And then really to give the school a time to focus on its fiscal situation and come up with some plans for the future. This is not a situation where I felt charter revocation was appropriate, especially before the end of a current school year. And it also remains to be seen if they can turn their enrollment around. They've made some representations that there may be a bump after the holiday break. And we're going to monitor them closely and report back to the committee on
Ralph,
staff.
Ralph, can I just interrupt briefly? I apologize. Do you mind just moving your laptop slightly? Your typing is just right into the microphone. I apologize. We're just having a hard time hearing.
Okay, would you like to repeat anything?
No, that's okay.
We're good?
Okay. So,
Joe,
yes.
I have something to say. I think once you put this school on probation, you're ultimately making a decision. And I think given the data points and everything, an appropriate decision. But let's not fool ourselves. Once the school's on probation, parents are not going to enroll in the school. So by definition, probation is a first step towards a different kind of outcome. And I want to reiterate that I think our obligation here is to the students in the school. And I'd like to hear from Susie or Joe or whoever that demonstrable point of view. Because, as I said before, we're an academic institution. And we're doing this for fiscal reasons, but for loads of other reasons as well. And so I'd like Susie to talk to those.
Absolutely.
I'll just second your concerns about that and make clear that the committee wants the Institute staff to stay vigilant in monitoring what's happening with the school and with an eye to making sure that the kids in the school are protected. And if they're not going to be in that school going forward, that we are working closely to do everything we can to protect the kids' interests going forward. So Susie, with that, if you want to talk about any specifics.
Yeah, can we also, I'm sorry, I can't see on camera who's typing. It just, the audio is causing dissonance. So if we can move away from the mic, we'd really appreciate it.
It's a very special guest, and she's doing everything she can to move away from the mic.
I'm very sorry, very special guest.
Joe, who is this special guest?
Yeah, I don't know who this is.
I could be wrong, but you're with the NICES?
With the state association.
Yes.
State Association.
Yes.
Yeah.
We want to tell everyone about all of your good work,
Yes.
your diligence. Make sure they know all about it.
I will work to type more quietly.
I'm really sorry. The
No,
microphones.
I'm sorry.
The microphones are really super. That's a good thing. So in every instance where we have a school that is running into a challenge or is struggling either with enrollment or with finances, we work very closely, not only with the school and the parents, and in this case, it's a high school, so the counselors, but also in any situation with local districts where students may be received if they are not attending this school. And as we have done in the past with Oracle, or we've had from time to time schools where the enrollment has gotten smaller and they've shifted locations, the schools have continued on because they have remedied, in fact, the issues that they were put on probation for. But they might have shifted to a smaller facility farther away where the students were initially enrolled. We work very hard to develop relationships with the folks in the school districts to transition those students in a supportive way, which we will continue to do. And we're happy to report back to the committee on all of those efforts when we convene again in February. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
I could add one point. There's flexibility in the last resolve clause that the institute could, in terms of that $80,000, if that would prevent program for students or something related to students, we could prioritize the students and take reduced payments toward the TRS in the interest of getting the students through the school year.
Okay.
Ralph,
Okay,
let me
so-
just say, Ralph, when a school closes, there are faculty that we have to worry about and students that we have to worry about. And I worry about them in the same voice and the same tone. So I'm not for taking from Peter to pay Paul or from Paul to pay Peter. And I think we should be clear about that.
Absolutely.
Okay. With that, do we have a motion to approve the Institute recommendation to place the New Roots Charter School in Ithaca, New York on probationary status?
So move.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Before we adjourn, that concludes the official business of the committee, but I wanted to just make a statement that the committee is aware through the Institute's reporting to us of a number of incidents in our charter schools and some other charter schools are authorized by other authorizers in New York of inappropriate conduct between staff and students. Many of these incidents are being investigated by the authorities, and we're being kept up to date about that. But I would like, on behalf of the committee, Susie, to request that you institute a training in the beginning part of next year that all our schools be required to attend, where you emphasize to them the steps they should be taking to try to prevent this type of behavior from happening, including the fingerprinting and other things. The schools know from me and you that we have zero tolerance for this type of activity in the school and zero tolerance for them not following the fingerprinting and background check and other things. But it appears from some of these incidences, or most of them, that the appropriate steps with respect to fingerprinting and background checks were taken. And there's evidently additional steps that can be taken that we've learned about from other authorizers around the country. And it's important that we have the best practices in place. So if you could set up that training and keep the committee apprised of it, that would be very good.
We will do so, and we'll invite you to attend when we get them scheduled. Thank you so much.
Okay. unless there's any other comments or business, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.